Hi students. Let's take a look at the steps for adding and subtracting rational expressions all the way. So what I am going to do is write out the steps. So step 1 is to factor the denominators. And of course, that's going to help us define the restrictions. And I hope you remember that to do that, we set each factor equal to 0 and say x is not equal to that number. You're never allowed to divide by 0. Then we're going to compare the factors to find the LCD. Right? You got to figure out, well, what's going to be the common denominator, and it's going to have all the factors, and we say the LCD, not just a common denominator, so that we end up having less, like a little bit smaller numbers, so we're not going to have double factors. Then we're going to multiply each part as needed, oh, hello, to make all have the LCD and distribute to the numerator. Often we're going to have a number that needs to be multiplied. Woo, where are the lights? And sometimes we'll even have a binomial that we'll have to FOIL out. Step 4 is to combine like terms. And then we have these asterisks here because sometimes we'll need to factor and reduce the final answer. So let's take a look at some examples. So starting with example 1, we have a really big problem. We've got the really big denominators, 2x squared plus 5x minus 3, 2x to the third minus x squared plus 10x minus 5. And it says, remember this problem from the 4.3 notes? What was the LCD? Well, I'm not sure. Let me go take a look and see if I have it up here. The LCD. Oh, I deleted it. Well, sorry, I actually just happened to know that it is 2x minus 1, x plus 3, and x squared plus 5. So this is the LCD. Let's write our restrictions right away. So this is my LCD. I factored the denominators and then I compared them. They both have the 2x minus 1. So this one is 2x minus 1 times x plus 3. This one was 2x minus 1 times x squared plus 5. So they both have that 2x minus 1 and we just listed it once. So x is not equal to 2x minus 1, 1/2, negative 3. And then this one is really interesting. When I say x squared plus 5 does not equal 0, I subtract the 5. And I get x squared does not equal negative 5, of course. And I take the square root, and I have a negative inside the radical. So I remember, I've got two answers for x squared, plus and minus. And it's I rad 5. So these are my 4 restrictions because I have x, x, and x squared. There's actually 4 x's, so I needed to have 4 restrictions. All right, so now I've got to get a common denominator. So I'm comparing the denominators to what we've got, and I see that this first one is missing one of the factors. This first term is missing the factor x squared plus 5. So I'm going to multiply on top and bottom x squared plus 5. So always put it in parentheses to remember to multiply it. Okay, and that is great. And then on this other side, I need to multiply by, it's missing the x plus 3. X plus 3, x plus 3. So I notice here I have a binomial numerator, x plus 2 times x plus 3, so I'm going to need to FOIL on that side. So on this next line, I'm just going to be working with the numerator, and I've got 5 times x squared, which is 5x squared. And then I have 5 times 5, so plus 25. And I really like this because it's all positives, so it's a nice start. Then I have plus, and I'm going to FOIL out that other side. X times x is x squared. X times positive 3 plus 3x. 2 times x, so plus 2x. And then 2 times 3 plus 6. I'm going to keep working with just the numerator to simplify it completely because I already know the denominator is just that LCD. So I'm going to combine my like terms. 5x squared plus 1 more x squared is 6x squared. All right, 3x plus 2x. Okay, so plus 5x. And then I have 25 plus 6 is 31. And so I do want to see, well, will this factor further? Maybe it does. So I multiplied 6 and 31. I got 186. Just add to 5. So I've got all positives. So I'm thinking 2 positive numbers, multiply to 186 and add to positive 5. That doesn't seem reasonable. So this is going to be my fully simplified numerator. The denominator is still that LCD that we found earlier, technically in 4.3, and that is 2x minus 1, x plus 3, and x squared plus 5. So this all together is my final answer. So we had to factor the denominators, compare the denominators, find the restrictions, multiply top and bottom so that the denominators were a perfect match, distribute those multiplication factors, combine like terms, and then check to see if the problem would reduce any further. That's why I say factor and reduce the final answer. What a doozy. Let's see if some of the other problems are a little bit easier. Ah, yes, these are going to be a little bit easier. You can tell they're so much smaller, so I do like that. Looking at number 2, take a quick minute and factor it. Oh, that was super fast, right? So I factored it, and I got x plus 2, x plus 5. So my LCD, when I compare the two denominators, I cross this out, my LCD is going to be x plus 2. That's one of the factors that I need. And x plus 5 is common in both of them. So I only need to write it once. Cool. So that means that my restrictions are that x does not equal -2 or -5. Good to know. And we just write that down right away. So this first term already has the full LCD. So I don't need to multiply it by anything. It's already got the LCD. I only need to multiply the second term by the missing factor in the LCD, which this case is x plus 2. So I have 5x plus, and I'm going to distribute the 4. So 4 times x, 4x, plus 4 times 2, 8. That's going to be my numerator, so I can see I have to add these together to get 9x plus 8, all over that LCD of x plus 2 and x plus 5. And 9x plus 8 isn't going to factor further, so I know that this is the final answer. That was fun. Looking at number 3, I see that we have that special pattern there. Look at me move. Ooh. So that special pattern, the difference of two squares, when I factor x squared minus 16, I know that that factors to x plus 4, x minus 4. So when I look to the right, I see the x plus 4, and that's very clearly missing the x minus 4. Before I get too ahead of myself, let me just write down that this is the LCD, and that x does not equal plus or minus 4. I can write it simply like that. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to multiply this second term by the x minus 4 that is missing. it's a positive 2, so that positive is going to stay with the 2. It's important to note that now that sign goes with that second term. So I've got 16 plus 2x and then minus, let's see, minus 8, which becomes 2x plus 8, right? So far so good, okay. That I can take the 2 out, 2, and then x plus 4. Look at this. I've got x plus 4, x minus 4 in the denominator. So the x plus 4 and the x plus 4 cancel out. That's cool, that's cool. So what's left in the numerator is the 2. Left in the denominator is x minus 4. And this is our final answer. Do not cancel the 2 and 4 because this is just a monomial and then this is a binomial, so they don't factor. Very cool. Looking good so far. Let's take a look at a few more examples. Okay, number 4. Look at number 4 has minus and it has a binomial numerator. This is going to be a hard one. So what I always do with the minus is I have the minus and then I'm going to do a bracket on whatever this is equal to. And I'm going to distribute, and then I'm going to combine my like terms. You're like, what? Well, let's take a look and see what we get. So I'm going to factor the denominators. 6 and 18, I can take a 6 out. X minus 3. And then these are all even. I can take a 2 out. And then I've got 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. And then I'm going to factor that a little bit further. Let's see, making my t-chart. 6 and negative 7, so 6 and 1. So 2x squared minus 6x minus 1x plus 3. 2x and x minus 3 minus 1 and x minus 3. So 2x minus 1 and x minus 3. Great. I'm going to erase all that and I'm going to write my LCD just right over here. I mean my two denominators right here. So I'm going to have 2 and then I have 2x minus 1 and x minus 3. So now I get to compare these to find my LCD. So with the numbers 6 and 2, 2 is inside of 6, so I'm going to use the 6, and that's going to take care of both of those. The x minus 3 is common, so you have the x minus 3 for sure. And then we also need 2x minus 1. Listing our restrictions, 6 does not equal 0, doesn't have a variable, so it doesn't need a restriction. So I just have that x is not equal to 3 or 1/2. Very nice. So I guess I need these back. Looking at this first part, I see that the first term is missing 2x minus 1. So I'm going to multiply 2x minus 1 to top and bottom. And then the second part is missing the 2, needs to be a 6. So I'm going to need to multiply by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And I need, oh, do I need anything else? No, I don't. I already have the x minus 3 and the 2x minus 1. So looking to distribute there, I've got 5 times 2, 10x, minus 5, minus, so I put the bracket there, and then it's just 3 times x minus 1, so I'm kind of doing that backwards distribution, 3x minus 3, right? And so now I'm going to distribute this negative, because it was subtraction, to this whole thing in the bracket. So it's going to be 10x minus 5 minus 3x plus 3. So it doesn't make a big difference, but those positive and negative signs really do add up. So I've got 10x minus 3x, which is 7x. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2, over my LCD. 6 times 2x minus 1 times x minus 3. Final answer.